I used to believe that treating the woman you love with kindness and respect was the right thing to do. For 3 years, I gave Megan everything I had. My time, my energy, my heart. I thought we were building something beautiful together. Then one evening, she looked me straight in the eyes and said words that made my whole world freeze. "You are too nice, Lyle. I need someone who makes me feel alive." Before we begin, let me know where you are watching from today. Drop a comment below and hit that like and subscribe button. Now, does being a nice guy really mean you lose? Let us find out. I grew up in a small town in Ohio, the kind of place where everyone knows everyone and your reputation matters. My father was a plumber who worked 60 hours a week to provide for our family. My mother was a nurse at the local hospital, always putting others before herself. From them, I learned that a real man is someone who takes care of the people he loves, who shows up when he says he will, and who treats others with dignity. I took those lessons to heart. Maybe too much. My name is Lyle, and at 28 years old, I was working as a software engineer at a tech company in Columbus. The job paid well, gave me stability, and allowed me to build a comfortable life. On weekends, I loved cooking elaborate meals, losing myself in a good book, or strumming my guitar on the back porch. I was not flashy. I was not loud. I was just a guy who believed in doing things the right way. Then I met Megan. It was a Tuesday afternoon at a coffee shop near my office. She was working as a part-time barista while finishing her marketing degree. The moment I saw her, something shifted inside me. She had wavy brown hair that fell just past her shoulders and a smile that could light up the darkest room. When she handed me my coffee, our fingers brushed and she laughed at something I said. I do not even remember what it was. All I remember is that laugh. We started talking. Then we started dating. Those first few months were everything I had ever dreamed of. I would cook dinner for her at my apartment, trying new recipes just to see her eyes light up. I would pick her up after her late shifts, drive her home, and make sure she got inside safely. When she told me she was struggling to pay her tuition, I helped cover part of it without a second thought. When her car broke down, I spent an entire Saturday fixing it. When her apartment was a mess because she was too busy with school and work, I cleaned it for her. I did all of this because I loved her. Because that is what you do when you love someone. You show up. You take care of them. You put them first. For a while, Megan seemed to appreciate it. She would tell me I was the most thoughtful man she had ever met. She would introduce me to her friends as the sweetest guy in the world. I genuinely believed we were building a future together. I started looking at engagement rings. I imagined proposing to her on the anniversary of our first date, maybe at that same coffee shop where we met. But somewhere around the 2-year mark, things started to change. Megan began complaining that our life together was too calm. She would scroll through social media showing me pictures of couples skydiving, partying on yachts, traveling to exotic destinations. "Why do not we ever do anything exciting?" she would ask. I tried to plan more adventurous dates. I took her hiking, booked a weekend trip to Chicago, surprised her with concert tickets to her favorite band. But nothing seemed to satisfy her. There was always something missing, something she could not quite name. She got a new job at a marketing agency downtown, and with it came a new group of friends. They were younger, louder, and always looking for the next party. Megan started going out with them after work, coming home later and later. Some nights, she did not come home at all, texting me that she was crashing at a coworker's place. I told myself I was being paranoid. I told myself that she just needed to blow off steam, that the pressure of her new job was getting to her. I trusted her. I loved her. I did not want to be the jealous boyfriend who suffocated his girlfriend. Then came that Friday night. Megan came home early, which surprised me. She sat down on the couch across from me, not next to me like she used to. Her face was serious, almost rehearsed. "We need to talk," she said. Those 4 words. Everyone knows what they mean. "You are too nice, Lyle," she began. "Too predictable. I feel like I am missing out on life being with you." I sat there frozen, unable to process what I was hearing. She told me she had met someone. His name was Derek. He worked as a salesman at a car dealership. She described him like he was some kind of movie character. Tall, covered in tattoos, drove a sports car, always the life of the party. He made her feel alive, she said. He made her feel excited. "I am sorry," Megan said, though she did not look sorry. "But I need more than this. More than you." 3 years. 3 years of my life, my love, my devotion, and it ended with her telling me that my kindness was the problem. The first few weeks after Megan left were the hardest of my life. I came home every night to an apartment that still smelled like her perfume, that still had traces of her everywhere I looked. Her favorite mug in the cabinet, a hair tie on the bathroom counter, a sweater she had forgotten in the closet. I could not stop replaying our relationship in my head, searching for the moment where I went wrong. I scrolled through old text messages, looking at all the times she told me she loved me, all the times she said I was perfect. Had she been lying the whole time? Had I been so blind that I missed all the signs my work started to suffer? I was making careless mistakes in my code, missing deadlines, spacing out during meetings. My manager pulled me aside and asked if everything was okay. I lied and said I was fine. I was not fine. I was falling apart. My best friend Marcus tried to help. He would call me every day trying to drag me out of my apartment. "Come on, man. Let us go grab some food. Let us shoot some pool. You cannot just sit in there and rot." But I did not have the energy. I did not have the will. I just wanted to disappear. The worst part was the silence. The apartment was so quiet without her. I had gotten used to her voice, her laughter, the sound of her moving around in the other room. Now there was nothing. Just me and my thoughts going in circles. Then social media made everything worse. I made the mistake of checking Instagram one night when I could not sleep. There she was, Megan, with Derek, living her best life. Picture after picture showed them at bars, at the beach, in his stupid sports car with the top down. She was always smiling, always laughing, always looking happier than she ever looked with me. The captions made me sick. Finally feeling alive. This is what I have been missing. My wild adventure begins. Each post was a knife in my chest. I could not stop looking, even though every image made me feel worse. I imagined them together, imagined him giving her all the excitement I apparently could not provide. Friends from our social circle started reaching out. Some genuinely wanted to check on me. Others, I could tell, were just curious, wanting to gossip about what happened. A few gave me those pitying looks that made me feel even more pathetic. Poor Lyle could not keep his woman interested. I deleted all my social media apps, but it did not help. I could not stop thinking about her, about them. About 2 months after the breakup, I had to run to the grocery store. I was out of everything and had been living off takeout for weeks. I threw on some clothes that probably needed washing and dragged myself to the store. I was in the beer aisle of all places when I saw them. Megan and Derek, right there in front of me. Derek had his arm wrapped around her waist in this possessive, showy way. He was laughing loudly about something, drawing attention to himself, like he was performing for an audience. Megan spotted me first. I saw her face change for just a second. Was that embarrassment guilt? Whatever it was, she covered it quickly with a bright smile. "Lyle, hi," she said, like we were old acquaintances who had not seen each other in years, like she had not ripped my heart out of my chest. She introduced me to Derek. "Babe, this is Lyle, my ex." Derek looked me up and down, then extended his hand with this smug, condescending grin. "So you are the nice guy she told me about," he said. I shook his hand because I did not know what else to do. His grip was too tight, like he was trying to prove something. "Nice to meet you," I managed to say. I excused myself as quickly as I could, abandoning my shopping cart and walking straight out of the store. I sat in my car in the parking lot for 20 minutes, hands shaking on the steering wheel. That night I hit rock bottom. I started questioning everything about myself. Maybe Megan was right. Maybe I was too nice, too boring, too predictable. Maybe I needed to change. Over the next few weeks, I tried to reinvent myself. I went to bars alone, trying to act like the kind of guy who belonged there. I bought a leather jacket thinking it would make me look edgier. I tried to talk differently at work, more aggressive, more assertive. It felt wrong. All of it. Marcus was the one who finally set me straight. We were at a diner, and I was telling him about my transformation when he cut me off. "Dude, stop. This is not you. Why are you trying to be someone else for a woman who did not appreciate who you are?" I did not have an answer. "Listen," Marcus continued. "You are one of the best people I know. You are kind. You are loyal. You are the guy everyone can count on. If Megan could not see that that is her loss, do not lose yourself trying to become some fake version of what she wanted." That night, I sat alone on my balcony, looking out at the city lights. Marcus was right. I had spent the last few months trying to become someone I wasn't all because one person told me I wasn't good enough. But what if she was wrong? What if being nice wasn't the problem? What if the problem was giving my kindness to someone who did not deserve it? I made a decision that night. I wasn't going to become a bad boy. I was not going to change who I was at my core. Instead, I was going to become the best version of myself. The real me, just stronger. I signed up for a gym membership the next day. For the first time in my life, I committed to working out 5 days a week. It was not about impressing anyone. It was about proving to myself that I could set a goal and achieve it. It was about taking control of something when everything else felt out of control. At work, I threw myself into learning new skills. I earned an advanced certification in cloud architecture, something I had been putting off for years. 3 months later, I got promoted to senior engineer with a significant raise. I started playing guitar at a small coffee shop on Friday nights. It was an open mic situation, nothing fancy, but it pushed me out of my comfort zone. I met new people, artists, musicians, writers, people who were passionate about creating things, about living authentically. I also joined a volunteer group that taught coding to underprivileged kids on weekends. Seeing their faces light up when they got a program to work reminded me why I got into this field in the first place. It gave me purpose beyond my own problems. Slowly, day by day, I started to feel like myself again. Better than myself, actually. I was becoming someone I was proud of. About 8 months after the breakup, Marcus called me with news. "You are not going to believe this," he said. "Remember Derek, the bad boy?" "What about him?" "Got fired from the car dealership. Apparently he mouthed off to a customer one too many times." I did not say anything, so Marcus continued. "After that he got a job as a bartender. Lasted 3 weeks before they let him go for showing up late. Then he tried working at a warehouse but quit because, get this, the work was too hard." I still did not respond. "It gets better," Marcus said. "That fancy sports car he was always showing off repossessed. Could not make the payments. And Megan. She has been covering all their expenses. They had to move out of their apartment into some tiny room they are renting." "How do you know all this?" I asked. "Her friend Tara told my girlfriend. Apparently Megan has been complaining to everyone who will listen." I thought I would feel satisfaction hearing this. Vindication. But mostly I just felt tired. tired of the whole situation, tired of Megan still taking up space in my head. A few weeks later, my phone buzzed with a message from an unexpected number. Megan. Hi, Lyle. Hope you're doing well. I have been thinking about you lately. I stared at that message for a long time. A year ago, I would have responded immediately. I would have jumped at any chance to talk to her to win her back. But I was not that person anymore. I waited 2 days before responding with a simple, I am doing fine, hope you are too. That opened the floodgates. She started texting regularly, telling me about her life, about how stressful things had been. She never directly admitted she made a mistake, but it was clear between the lines. She complained about money problems, about feeling unsupported, about being exhausted from carrying everything on her shoulders. After a week of this, she asked if we could meet up. Just to talk, she said, like old friends. I agreed to meet her at the coffee shop where we first met. I do not know why I chose that location. Maybe I wanted to close a circle. Maybe I wanted to see if I would feel anything sitting across from her in the place where it all began. She was 15 minutes late. When she walked in, I barely recognized her. The confident, glowing woman I remembered was gone. In her place was someone who looked tired, defeated, smaller somehow. She sat down and started talking about everything except what we both knew she wanted to say. She talked about work, about the weather, about some show she had been watching. Finally, after 20 minutes of small talk, she got to the point. Derek and I broke up, she said. I am sorry to hear that, I replied, though we both knew I was not. He was not who I thought he was, she continued. He could not hold down a job. He borrowed money from me and never paid it back. Last month he just disappeared, left me with all the bills. She started crying. Real tears, not the performative kind. I made a huge mistake, Lyle. I did not realize what I had until it was gone. You were so good to me. You were everything I should have wanted. She reached across the table for my hand. Do you think we could try again? I know I messed up, but I am different now. I understand what matters. I looked at her. This woman I had loved so completely. This woman I would have done anything for. This woman who told me my kindness was a weakness. I gently pulled my hand back. Megan, I said, keeping my voice calm and even. I forgive you. I really do. But I cannot go back. Her face crumbled. Why not? I made a mistake. People make mistakes. You did not just leave me, I said. You left me because you said I was too nice. You told me that the best parts of who I am were the reasons you could not stay. Do you understand how that felt? She opened her mouth to respond, but I was not finished. I spent months wondering if something was wrong with me. I tried to change who I was. I almost lost myself trying to become the kind of person you wanted. And then I realized something. I paused, making sure she was really listening. There was nothing wrong with me. You wanted a bad boy, Megan. You got one. And now you know what bad really looks like. But I cannot be your backup plan. I cannot be the safe choice you come running to when the exciting choice falls apart. Lyle, please. I spent this last year becoming someone I am proud of. I found out that I am not too nice. I was just giving my kindness to someone who did not value it, and I am not going to make that mistake again. I stood up and placed enough money on the table to cover both our drinks. I wish you well, Megan. I genuinely do. I hope you find what you are looking for. But my door is closed. I walked out of that coffee shop without looking back. I would like to tell you that I felt amazing after that conversation. Triumphant, vindicated. But the truth is more complicated. Walking to my car that evening, I felt a strange mixture of emotions. Relief, yes, but also sadness. Not for losing Megan. That loss had already happened a year ago. I was sad for the time I wasted for the person I almost became, for the years I gave to someone who could not see my worth. That night I sat on my balcony with a cup of coffee looking out at the city lights. The air was cool, and the streets below were quiet. I thought about everything that had happened since that terrible Friday night when she walked out of my life. I thought about the days I could not get out of bed. The nights I scrolled through her pictures until my eyes burned. The moment in that grocery store when I felt smaller than I had ever felt in my life. The desperate weeks when I tried to transform into someone I was not. And then I thought about Marcus, who never gave up on me. About the gym sessions that taught me discipline. About the promotion that proved I was capable of more than I knew. About the Friday nights playing guitar, the kids I taught, coding the life I had rebuilt from the rubble. I was not angry at Megan anymore. Anger takes energy, and I had spent too much energy on her already. What I felt instead was something closer to gratitude. Not for what she did, but for what her leaving had forced me to discover. Marcus called the next morning to check on me. When I told him what happened at the coffee shop, he was quiet for a moment. "I am proud of you, man," he finally said. "That could not have been easy." "It was not," I admitted, "but it was right." 6 months passed. My life continued to improve in ways I never expected. At one of my Friday night performances, I noticed a woman in the audience who came back week after week. Her name was Heather. She was an elementary school teacher with kind eyes and a quiet laugh. She loved books, hated loud parties, and appreciated the simple things in life. After one of my sets, she came up to me. "I love how gentle you are when you play," she said. "The way your fingers move across the strings. It shows who you really are." We started talking. Then we started getting coffee after my performances. Then we started taking long walks through the city, sharing stories about our lives, our dreams, our fears. I did not rush anything. I had learned my lesson about pouring myself into someone before knowing if they deserved it. Heather and I took things slow, building a friendship first, letting trust develop naturally. But I could already tell this was different. Heather did not want me to be more exciting or more dangerous. She liked me exactly as I was. My kindness was not a weakness to her. It was what drew her to me. Through the grapevine, I eventually heard about Megan. She had moved back to her hometown to live with her parents. She was trying to get back on her feet after everything fell apart. I did not reach out. I did not comment. I simply wished her peace in my heart and let her go completely. Some people might think this story is about revenge, about a nice guy who got the last laugh when the bad boy failed. But that is not what this is about. This story is about learning your own value, about understanding that kindness is a strength, not a weakness, about recognizing that you should never dim your light just because someone cannot handle the brightness. I think about what Megan said to me sometimes. "You are too nice, Lyle." She meant it as a criticism, a reason to leave. But she was wrong about what those words meant. I am nice. I am kind. I am the guy who shows up, who keeps his promises, who treats people with respect. And I am not going to apologize for that anymore. The only thing I did wrong was offering those gifts to someone who did not appreciate them. Now I know better. Being nice is never the problem. Giving it to the wrong person is. And once you understand that, you never feel like you lost again. You just recognize that you dodged something that would have kept you from finding what you truly deserve. If you are watching this, and you have ever felt like you were too kind, too caring, too good for someone who left you for something more exciting, I want you to know something. You are not the problem. You are not too much or too little of anything. You are exactly who you are supposed to be. The right person will see that. The right person will treasure it. Do not change yourself for someone who cannot recognize gold when they are holding it in their hands. Now, I have a question for you. Have you ever been told you were too nice, too kind, or too good for someone? How did you handle it? Drop your story in the comments below. I read every single one, and I know this community is full of people who understand exactly what this feels like. If this story touched you, please hit that like button and share it with someone who needs to hear this message today. And if you are not subscribed yet, join our community so you do not miss the next story. Thank you for spending this time with me. I hope wherever you are, you know your worth. I hope you never settle for someone who makes you feel like your best qualities are problems. And I hope you find the person who looks at your kindness and sees exactly what it is, a gift. Take care of yourselves. I will see you in the next one.